In the early days, we were having a techno party in one room, and then in the front room, we were showing the football.
It's one of those spaces where you can come for a game of pool, but you can also listen to pounding techno.
To think that you have these international artists who are maybe playing the DBA on a Saturday and Berghain on a Sunday is pretty crazy.
Who are you? What do you do?
It joins the camera too. Yeah, so I work the doors here at DBA.
I think people know when they come in here that they're guaranteed to feel welcome and feel safe and express themselves. Whatever it is, it's going to be good and it's going to be queer and it's going to be class.
My journey to the DBA personally was kind of accidental. I think everyone's journey to the DBA actually in the format that it exists now was very, very sort of accidental.
Hey!
People essentially up for it from the very get-go and really approachable. Like everyone is here for the right reasons.
My name's Will and I am the venue and bookings manager at the DBA. So the DBA used to be a very working class community pub. Now, in its current existence, it is more catered towards the queer community and other marginalised groups in society. Still a community focus, just a different community now. It's all been very DIY. In the early days, we were having a 200 people techno party in one room, and then in the front room, we were showing the football. That was difficult, because if you come in to watch the footy and you've been coming here to watch the footy for 20 years, you don't want to be listening to very loud sound system techno. We've sort of got to where we are now, which is primarily a music venue.
My name is Devon and I joined here as the bartender. When I first came here, actually there was still like your regular punters sat at the front and we just had a rave going on in the back room at the exact same time. I just found that so fascinating.
Jace Jeffrey. I run a party here called Bent Hedonism. It's essentially a queer-centred day rave at the Derby Brewery Arms. Anyone's welcome, obviously, but it is very much focused to the queer community and anyone that considers themselves an ally. I mean, it's one of a kind. It is very unique. We are incredibly lucky to have this as our home, and I hope it does stick around for years to come. But the DBA itself is obviously a melting pot of communities, backgrounds, sexualities, like I mentioned, but it's a sanctuary for all those people at the same time. So people that aren't feeling welcome in certain areas or spaces across Manchester, wherever that may be, would generally find refuge or sanctuary here at the DBA.
My name is Adam Ali. I'm from Manchester. I actually grew up down the road in Cheetham Hill and a regular here at DBA. Growing up in a city that was so unapologetically kind of proud of its music and its identity, I was always so drawn to the dance floor. I always say there's a different kind of event every day of the week. You know, if you're looking for a pub quiz, if you're looking for something a bit wholesome, like a little queer social, or like a clothes swap party, even just to come and play pool and have a drink and catch up with your friends, you can do that.
And I think it's also a great space for people to like bounce ideas back and forth from each other. Since working here, I've just met so many like different promoters and different sort of creatives and musicians and DJs. It's one of the few pubs where like the main focus is queer people and women and other like minority groups, where a lot of us wouldn't feel comfortable going into any other sort of regular pub in Manchester.
My name is Alice. I'm a DJ and promoter for Meat Free, which is a techno night in Manchester. And we are one of the promoters that run parties here at the DBA. Meat Free is a techno night that's been running for 12 years now here in Manchester. I run it with Blasha and Alet, who are pretty well-known international now DJs, and we've been doing things at the DBA since like 4 years ago, which was kind of the start of the DBA. You can expect from a typical Meat Free night, number one, some of the best DJs in the world. The roster of people that we've had play at the DBA is pretty incredible. I think if someone from another country looked at the lineup, they would assume that it was like some really well-established, huge kind of super club if they see the artists that not only we've booked, but you know, other promoters have booked.
I don't think you could say there's another city in the country with as good of nightlife outside of London as we have here. There's a lot of housing development, and the sort of industrial estate type area is the ideal area for something like this to happen, where you're playing loud music and you've got, you maybe going past midnight and you're going into the early hours of the morning. You can't really do that anywhere in town and in residential areas, so the industrial estate is like the perfect place for that. Yeah, personally, I love this area. I love being around here, the local businesses, even the prison and everything else that's going on in the area. Like it makes the area what it is, and I think it's so unique. All these venues are thriving within this sort of general area, and I think that's great that we're so close to Manchester city centre and we're still managing to keep this area so individual.
Strangeways as an area, it's not uncommon to have these types of venues. You've got the White Hotel, we've got Hidden.
It is funny how Cheetham Hill has become this kind of epicentre, or, you know, the strange quarter as they call it. But I think there's just like Cheetham Hill's like a really vibrant area, isn't it? There's a lot going on. There's loads of cafes, there's restaurants. It always had that community feel. And I think kind of what it goes to show is that even as like our notion of community can change, like pubs still kind of sit at the heart of those. And actually the DBA, even though it's now like a club and it's certainly not what you would think of as like a local pub, but it does prove that like pubs are still kind of so important to keeping communities together. And I think what it's done is hopefully assimilated into the kind of this Cheetham Hill community where there was a little bit of a gap. I don't think it's taken over anything. I think it's taken up a space that was empty.
If you walk past this place, you wouldn't think, oh, that is like the sanctuary for queer people, but it's got a stigma, this area, but I quite like that in the center of that, there's this place and it's a safe haven. I used to walk past this street every single day and walk past this venue and never thought for a second that as an adult, this will be kind of one of my regular spots. It's really important that the queer offer for what you can expect regards to like music and events isn't all just in the village in Manchester. At the end of the day, a lot of the queer performers who perform in the village, when they want to break, they'll come here. They don't feel like they're like zoo animals being paraded around. And now we're very much looking at pushing out away from the village. And naturally, I think a lot of stuff is moving out of the city centre. Like, people don't want to be in the city centre anymore.
I think that we offer a great alternative to other things in the city. We've got a great mixture of elements within the pub. You come in here to go to a rave, essentially. That's what it boils down to. However, you're also coming to a community space. You're also coming to a safe space where you can really come in, and there's a lot of sort of demand to do parties here because we offer so much to the people that are coming to the events.
It's one of those spaces where you can come for a pint or a game of pool, but you can also listen to pounding techno at 10 o'clock in the evening, and it'll be full of people. So you can take your pick, essentially. Or if you just want to chat garbage in the smoking room, then you can do that too.
What's your favourite beer to drink?
It's actually the Diamond. It's a little bit stronger than this one, but it is only 3 o'clock, so I'm sticking with the Crystal Lager for now.
If you look at the trajectory from the past 4 years in terms of the events that have happened here, and it's not just, I mean, we're talking about music events, but they also have had like, you know, more inclusive and welcoming like football showings when the World Cup is on.
There are still a few of the local drinkers who come in and come to the pub, shout out Deck. At the end of the day, the people that the venue was focused from before is a community, and the people that the venue is focused to now is a community. So if there's going to be a crossover between that, then that's fantastic.
There's a lot of venues across Manchester that I'm seeing close down for various reasons or be threatened to close down. A place like this, with what it represents and what it symbolises, has to stay open. You know, some of my favourite memories have been when we threw a memorial for a pillar in the community, Ash. They passed away last summer, and we had the memorial here. There was like hundreds of people. Every time I'm here, I remember Ash. So the place holds memory. I think a lot of people come here to remember Ash as well. And I don't see it closing down. There's no way. It's too special. And we have the community to thank for that. But we also have Mark to thank for that. What? Oh, plug my own stuff. Oh, baby. This is not about me. This is about you.
No, it's about the space between the community.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's about the community. So the community here is so strong. I love what he stands for and who he is and how community focused he is. And he's a very selfless person and doesn't probably will hate us talking about this, but he really is at the core of this place. He's the engine that keeps it running and pumps it with so much love. There's a lot of pubs, a lot of venues that are very money driven, and that's not Mark.
When he took on this place, he had a goal and vision in mind to create a pub for the queer community, because a pub is meant to be like a community hub, isn't it? I think he's been very successful in doing that, for sure.
Do you think, in years to come, this place will be remembered in the scene?
Oh yeah. Well, it takes for things to come and go, for people to actually appreciate it and to kind of and to tell their tales of it. Every good club has a life cycle. These places can't stay open forever because then you lose those core parts of it. Already, I think people are starting to learn that DBA is something really, really special.